Have you ever stepped outside on a blistering summer day and felt that immediate heavy sweat? Within minutes, your body is begging for a glass of cold water. When we think about how animals survive out in the wild, we usually picture obvious physical traits, like a thick coat of fur or sharp claws. But there's another layer to survival called physiological adaptation. These are automatic adjustments happening deep inside the body's chemistry and organs. To understand how this works, we are going to look at two champions of extreme survival. First, the camel, which navigates scorching, bone-dry deserts. And second, the mangrove tree, which grows in a swamp so salty it would kill a normal houseplant in hours. Surviving these extremes depends on specific automatic shifts in internal chemistry and cellular structure that allow life to continue where it should otherwise stop. To help you ace your biology exams, we've organized these survival strategies into a quick reference guide. We will break down exactly what the environment throws at these two organisms and the specific biological tools they use to fight back. Let's start in the desert. The primary threat here is extreme heat, which strips moisture away fast. For a typical mammal, losing 15% of its body water is fatal. Now, take a look at this chart. It compares that 15% lethal limit against the camel's tolerance. A camel can safely lose up to 25% of its body water without breaking down. To slow down that water loss, the camel adjusts its internal thermostat. Instead of sweating immediately to cool off, a camel allows its body temperature to rise safely from 34 degrees Celsius all the way up to 41 degrees. By holding on to that heat, it saves the water it would have sweat away. It also locks moisture inside by altering how it processes waste. The kidneys produce highly concentrated dark urine, and the digestive system absorbs so much moisture that the feces come out completely dry. The camel stays alive by changing its baseline biological rules to aggressively prevent water from escaping the body. Massive water loss creates a dangerous mechanical problem. When water leaves the body, blood turns thick and syrupy. Normal round red blood cells get stuck in this thick fluid, clumping together and blocking blood vessels. This diagram shows how the camel solves the traffic jam. Instead of round cells, oval-shaped red blood cells slide past each other, keeping oxygen flowing. When guzzling water, normal cells pop from osmotic shock, but watch the camel's flexible oval cells safely expand, absorbing water without breaking. Desert survival is essentially a microscopic battle happening inside the blood, where cellular shape determines if the animal lives or dies. Now we move to the coastal swamp. Here, ocean tides bring in seawater containing levels of salt that are instantly toxic to most plant life. The mangrove's first defense is called salt exclusion. Its root system acts like an ultra-fine filter, physically blocking up to 90% of the salt from ever entering the plant. The small amount of salt that does slip past the roots is handled through a process called salt secretion. Special glands on the leaves actively push the salt out to the surface, where it sits until the rain washes it away. As a final backup, the tree uses salt sequestration. It pumps any leftover toxic salt directly into its oldest leaves. Once a leaf is full of salt, the tree simply sheds it. By filtering, pushing out, and shedding salt, the mangrove operates as a self-sustaining biological desalination plant, thriving in soils that poison competing plants. Salt isn't the only threat. The muddy soil in these swamps is completely waterlogged, meaning it holds almost zero oxygen. Plant roots need to breathe, so a normal tree would quickly suffocate here. To catch their breath, mangroves grow special roots called pneumatophores. These peg-like structures grow upward out of the mud, defying gravity to reach open air. This cross-section diagram illustrates exactly how they work. Air enters through tiny pores on the surface called lenticels. It then travels downward through the parenchyma, a soft, spongy tissue that acts just like a snorkel, delivering oxygen straight to the buried roots. Above the mud, the leaves hold on to fresh water using fleshy, succulent tissues and thick, waxy coatings to stop evaporation. They even tilt their leaves downward to avoid the harshest noontime sun. Finally, to survive the shifting, unstable mud, many mangroves grow stilt roots. These arching branches reach from the trunk to firmly anchor against crashing waves. Through specialized root networks, the mangrove solves the chemical problem of suffocation and the physical danger of washing away. Extreme survival is won through internal chemistry, cellular shape, and adjustments to how an organism manages its resources. Here is your ultimate cheat sheet covering all the testable syllabus points we just discussed. Go ahead and pause the video to take a screenshot for your notes. On the left, we have the camel's 25% water loss tolerance and oval blood cells. On the right, the mangrove salt glands, breathing pneumatophores, and structural stilt roots. Just like the camel and the mangrove adapt to beat their environments, you now have the tools you need to conquer your exams. Good luck!